All right, y'all. 2026 is right around the corner, and I want to set you up to finally put yourself first. So, we're going to go through phase one of the guilt free future planning dealy. I'm Jesse, and this is the process that I've used that helped me like publish 2 books, launch my new business, and help me create the conditions for like massive fulfillment in my life. And I want the same for you. We're going to super hyper focus on one element, which is this piece here. And in the guilt-free future planning, there's a few things. So I'm not going to distract you and flood you with a bazillion things. I want to get super focused on the first layer of this guilt-free future planning, which is putting the things where you can see them. Like, get them out of your head. Why? Because or maybe you don't, maybe I'm the only weirdo that is this way. I have a lot of big ideas and I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish and do and learn and all of the stuff. And when they're in my head, it becomes this big, giant, overwhelming thing that I'm never going to accomplish, right? Like I've only made micro steps on one of the things or a bunch of the things. And so it creates this kind of energy of less than or failure or whatever it is, but it's because it's all in my head. And then what happens, because it's all in my head, some new thing comes up, some new opportunity, some new interest, and then I go chase that thing. And guess what? I add to the pile. And so getting it out of our head, putting it where we can see it is like the key element. And so I know you're out there and you're like, man, Jess, this is great, but I don't have that stupid template. Don't worry about it. Number one, if you want the template, I got all kinds of fancy templates for you. So drop double D in the comments and I'll hook you up with the Daily Domination Board. And then you're going to get a follow-up email. So you best open up that email. And that bad boy, it'll give you the whole framework, or at least the template anyways, for you to work through. But if you don't have it, don't worry. Grab a pen and paper, grab your fancy Remarkable, grab your iPad, whatever it is that you take notes in, because you can start doing this right now. And remember, I mean, it's October right now, but the new year's right around the corner. And so you got plenty of time to work on the thing. Now, like I said, we're going to talk about put it where you can see it, right? We're going to get into that. Why? Because when it's all in our head, our head becomes storage space. And our brain is fantastic and awesome for problem solving, for connecting with other human beings. But when we have it crammed up with all of these things, all of these ideas, all of these commitments that we haven't made progress on, it starts stealing our focus. And we underserve the person in front of us. And I know that you absolutely want to serve the person in front of you in the greatest way possible. After we get, again, I'm give you a heads up, start writing down, take notes. After you get it out of your head, then you want to examine the list, because I'm pretty sure, like for real, I'm pretty sure you're going to have the same situation that I have, which is, I kind of neglect myself. Back to like the whole purpose of the self first framework. It's all about putting yourself first, so that you can better serve the people in your world, because that's what we're here for, right? It's all about sharing our gifts and talents in service to others. If you're out there, grab your pens, grab your pencils, grab your crayons, whatever it is. We're going to get into this, like the first phase of the guilt-free future planning. And so again, I'm going to show this super fancy dealie here, and it doesn't have to be super fancy for you, right? Like you know what you're doing. So the first layer of this, don't worry about all the stuff, because we're going to go to that on our next live stream. What you want to do is like all the stuff that you've had in your head that you were going to start by now, or that you were going to finish, that you were going to look into, all of that stuff, I want you to get it out of your head and start writing it down. Now, I like to suggest and guide people to put those things into 3 different buckets. One bucket is like business or professional development, right? Like if you're running a business, if you're thinking of starting a side gig, what are the things that you want to accomplish? What are the things, the skills that you're going to have to learn and develop in order to make that happen, specifically in the business and professional development space? Like if for your job, you need a new certification so you can get a promotion, Shout out to Noah, who just got his master's license, which I know he is now a master plumber in the state of Texas. It's not a small thing. So congratulations and shout out to you, bro, for that. But that's an example of the type of professional development we might be thinking about. You might want to learn AI. You might want to learn how to keyboard or whatever it is. Think of it in a bucket. The next bucket is personal growth, meaning you personally. So for me, personal growth, the one big gigantic thing that I have is completing a full Ironman by the end of next year. I got a long way to go. You can see this little chin here might be in the way of that happening. But when I got it out of my head, I was able to see like, oh, I've got all these other things I want to do, and then we can prioritize, which again, that's the next phase. Right now, all I want you to focus on is getting the stuff out of your head. We talked about business and professional growth. What are the things, ideas, goals, projects that you've been tinkering around that pop up in your head and don't leave you alone? Write it down. Personal growth, same thing. Those things, write it down. And then the last one is meaningful connections, because I know if I don't deliberately focus on maintaining and cultivating new connections, I will absolutely ignore it and neglect it. No one knows. I haven't been golfing with them in 2 years because I just forget to make those personal connections a priority. And I'm a bit of a flake when it comes to those kinds of things. Anyways, in my head, it's these 3 buckets, right? There's the work, professional stuff. There's me, the personal stuff. And then there's the relationships that we need that keep us healthy and keep us sane. Now, you might be feeling a little anxious, like, oh my God, I can't, like, this is a lot of stuff. What if I put it in the wrong bucket? And like, don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't matter what order you're getting this stuff out of your head in. It doesn't. Just get it out of your head, because then you can organize it, right? So just start writing down what are the things that you wanted to start, accomplish, learn this year. If they are not to your satisfaction, I'll say it that way. If you haven't moved as far as you wanted to, if you haven't even started the damn thing, no judgment, man. Life is life, bro. But get it out of your head and put it down on paper. Put it where you can see it, right? And you're going to find that once you start doing that, your brain's going to start firing like, ooh, what about this? Ooh, what about that? Ooh, what about this? Let it flow, man. Get them all out of your head. What are some of the things aspirationally that you've been thinking about? Some big giant challenges you wanted to take on that are going to force you to grow. Get those things out of your head. Now, the reason I do this, one, is because I'm a scatterbrain. I love learning. I love people. I love doing things. I love to play. But when I decided to start my own business, I also kind of got to manage myself and execute. And execute on the things that are going to sustain my business and sustain my life, which meant I had to prioritize things. Now, my mama used to tell me, Mijo, you can't have it all. And I disagree. I can have it all. I just can't have it all at the one time, like right now. And so applying this method, like for real, if you sign up for the Self First Time Mastery webinar, like for real, I have a webinar so that, people can sign up and be a part of that. It's less than an hour. And the point of that is to help you decide, like, is this workshop exactly what for me? Will it work for me? And so the webinar is like an introduction, big overview of the whole thing. I'll drop the link again. I got to drop the links later. I might need an administrator at some point for these things. Anyways, but this is the process and the method that has helped me accomplish and live the life that I'm loving. Like, actually, I'll say it more clearly. This process, this whole system has helped me design the life that I want. And so if you want to design the life that you want, this is the thing you want to do. So rehash. When we go, like the first phase, first step in the guilt-free future planning is to get all the stuff out of your head, right? We got this cool little template, which Noah and Bob are going to be getting because they're going to be signing up for the Double D Daily Domination Board. And we get the things out of our head that we haven't accomplished, that we want to accomplish, that we want to progress further on in relation to business and professional growth, then personal growth, and then meaningful connections. Just get them out of your head so that you can see them and look at them and organize them. Now, another key point to this phase one of the future planning is examining where our energy is going. Like, and I don't mean like actually taking action. I mean like, what are the things that occupy my mind? And so one thing that I discovered is my, like the box right here with business and professional growth, full of stuff. Personal growth, full of stuff. Meaning, well, maybe half full of stuff. And then meaningful connections, nothing. And so what did that mean? That meant, this was a while back, right? My whole entire mind was consumed with my job, with my career, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I was neglecting myself, right? I mean, I've lost, I don't, 213, yeah, 9 pounds in the past 2 years. It's been slow, but most of it is because of muscle mass. But anyways, and so I had to start focusing on my physical wellness. I had to adjust my sleep. I had to adjust my nutrition intake, and I had to adjust my exercise. So I said, how do I accomplish that? It's like, oh, I know what I need to do. I'll set a big, giant pain in the butt goal, which is the Ironman, which has helped me really, really hone in on the personal growth side. And in the meaningful connections, I got amazing people in my life that I almost systematically keep in touch with. Not as much as they would like to, but for me, it's like a lot. It doesn't feel like that for you, but it does feel like that for me. Let's get back to this. Once you get all of the things that have been stealing your energy, bouncing around in your head, we're not even making a commitment right now. All I want you to do is get it out of your head so you can see it. And the reason we have these 3 different buckets, and I promise you, like, if you have different buckets, use those. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But the reason for the different buckets is so that we can see, like, what am I neglecting? Where am I failing to serve? I'll give you another example. When I was examining my business, like all this business professional growth stuff here, what became apparent to me was the community, or the people that I was underserving the most, was subcontractors, trade professionals. I do a lot of business with general contractors, and I appreciate them. They keep me fed, if you can't tell, right? But I have some magical skills and a ton, I don't know, 20 plus years of experience of being on the subcontractor side of the business, from installing, leading crews, managing multiple teams, supporting the growth and like awesome performance of a business unit that I could help other subcontractors with, but I wasn't giving them any time or energy. I couldn't see that going day to day. But when I got it out all of my head, I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to make an adjustment. And so last year I made an adjustment. And for clarity, this guilt-free future planning, what we're talking about right now is like setting the stage. Start now. Let me say it again. Start right now. Like these things I'm talking about, start writing them down, get them out of your head, examine them, and maybe make some decisions based on that. Because the new year is around the corner. I make all my annual planning, etc., on my birthday, which is in December. Why? Because I think the world revolves around me. That's why. Now, most people do their like big planning and evaluation of stuff on the new year, but they wait until like January 1st or New Year's Eve to kind of come up with some whimsical goal. How do I know? Because I used to do that. That did not work for me. Like I made zero progress except for like my professional stuff. And so doing this early to really, really dive into it and think about it is going to help you set the stage to start 2026 like at a full sprint instead of tripping and bumbling around. And so back to the whole thing, right? Guilt-free future planning. What we want to do, what I want you to do, what I'm charging you with is to get the stuff out of your head and don't judge yourself, right? Why do we call it guilt-free? It's because I ain't going to judge you. You don't need to judge yourself. I am going to absolve you of all the guilt that you carry for not progressing at the rate that you want to progress, or not completely killing every single thing and idea that you had come across your head. It's simply about, let me look at the things. And when I look at all of these things, which of these things are going to bring me the greatest amount of fulfillment? For me, fulfillment comes from serving others, right? And so when I get all these ideas out of my head, I can see some of them are like, that's weak sauce, Jess. Like that's all about you growing my growing my super long hair. Nobody cares about that. It's not going to help me deliver that, but it's something I want to do. Anyways, The point being is I can see where am I putting my energy and what needs to like rise to the top and maybe fall to the bottom so that I can become the person I'm intended to be or the promise I'm intended to be, right? So that's the idea. Overall, it's simple. Get it out of your head, examine it, and chew on it for a bit. I know now. Here's the other issue that we do, and the reason the self first framework is broken up the way it's broken up is because we typically, most of us on here are very action oriented individuals. So our bias is to action. And so when we sit down to like think and start brainstorming about what the future might be like or what we want to design for ourselves, our immediate instinct is to start scheduling it. And you're going to look at your calendar and you say, oh my God, I don't have time. Right. And then once we start scheduling, they were like, oh, I could get started right now. I need to start this. And that's a mistake. That's why we're only going to focus on future planning, which is all about getting the stuff out of our head so that we can examine it, so that we can prioritize it. So if you're right now having the instinct to like go put it in your calendar and start seeing when you can start, don't like pump the brakes a little bit. We're going to get back to that. Pump the brakes. And then once we get through the filtering, which the next call that we'll have here in a few weeks, we're going to get into like, how do we prioritize these things in such a way that helps us build momentum? And then we're going to walk the plank, which means we're going to start taking a step towards commitment. But you don't have to do any of that right now. Right now, we're going to be live streaming again here in 2 weeks. So here's the homework. Get the stuff out of your head. The goals, the wishes, the wants, the projects, all of the things, put them in the buckets. The buckets I'm recommending is business and professional growth, personal growth, and meaningful connections, like being connected with other human beings. Get that stuff out of your head and examine it. Give yourself and don't schedule it. Don't do nothing with it. Just get it out of your head. Now, if you're an OG like Mr. Kenneth here, he says he reflects on his goals and challenges every single week and makes attempts to change and conquer them. Phenomenal, right? Like if you're already there, keep doing that, right? Like if that's what's working for you, keep doing that. But if you've been spinning your wheels and starting a lot of things and never really finishing anything and feeling just like, oh man, I'm still here like 3, 4, 5 years later, and I'm still spinning my wheels. I don't feel like I'm growing at the rate that I can or should, or I don't feel like I'm serving to the degree that I absolutely can, then I'm going to recommend you follow this approach. Again, get it out of your head. If you don't have the templates, drop double D in the comments and I'm going to hook you up with all kinds of templates. The first one you're going to get is Daily Domination Board, which is going to help you like manage your day-to-day tasks, but that's not enough. Like that'll get you through today and the next day and the next day, but it'll keep you, if that's all you do, it'll just keep you on the hamster wheel. But when you sign up for that, guess what? You get a super easy follow-up email, super awesome follow-up email that's going to give you the template for like the whole self-first time mastery framework, which again, it's just a template. There's a lot of instructions. There's a lot of words on there that you can use. And I got a bunch of videos that you can go watch to like kind of figure out how to do the things. But if you really, really want to get into it and have an experience, a growth experience learning with other people, the best way to do that is to sign up for the Self-First Time Mastery Workshop that'll be happening, guess when? In December, right before the new year. And so maybe my brother here, Mr. Adam Hoot, says, caught you just in time. Maybe Adam and a bunch of other amazing people or people that you work with out there that you know could benefit from investing in themselves and making themselves a priority. Maybe you share some of this stuff with them so we can get the ball rolling. One last time, I know I said it a bunch of times, but I want to make sure super clear that you don't miss this. Your homework, your assignment, your field assignment, if you choose to make sure 2026 is the year for you, that knockout, drag out, breakthrough year, your assignment is to do this. Get all the stuff that's been in your head, the stuff you planned on starting, but haven't, the things that you want to do, but haven't, the skills that you want to develop, the people that you want to stay in contact with, all of that stuff, get it out of your head, put it in these buckets, let your brain run. It's going to run. You're going to get a bunch of other things. Get it out of your head, put it in the buckets, and then examine it. What's missing? What's really valuable? What's transformational? And what's weak sauce? Like for real, um, have some integrity, man. Hold yourself to a higher level because you know you can accomplish great things. And then come back to the next live stream, because on the next live stream, we're going to take all these ideas and things that you've had in your head, and we're going to prioritize them or give them weight using the damn matrix. So I'm just going to leave you hanging with that. If you're watching the replay, keep being amazing. Again, if you want the thing, drop double D in the comments. You'll get all the templates and come back for the next show, because we're going to get into the damn matrix to help you give weight to all of these ideas, goals, and stuff. Why? So that you can kick some ass next year. Be kind to yourself, be cool, and we'll talk at you next time. Peace.